أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين. So I'm going to, before we bring our main speaker, I'm going to, as I have done in all of these English nights, continue with some commentary from Surah Al-Luqman. And for those who may not have been here in the last English nights, we've been talking about the advice that Luqman al-Hakim has given to his son, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has quoted in the Holy Quran. And so we've reached this verse, and inshallah I would like to take a few moments to speak about this verse. And Allah says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ya bunay, innaha in taku mithqala habbatin min khardalin fattakun fi sakhratin aw fi as-samawati aw fi al-ard ya'ti biha Allah inna Allah latifun khabir. So Allah, He says in this verse, quoting the advice of Luqman, He says, my son, innaha, for sure, if there was a seed of mustard, so the mustard seed is very small, very tiny. He said, if there was a mustard seed, then no. And if it was hidden inside of a stone in the earth or in the skies, Allah will extract it out. Inna Allahu latifun khabir. And for sure Allah is subtle and He is aware. So there's a lot of wisdom in this verse, a lot of wisdom. First, understanding something about Holy Quran. A lot of the wisdom of Holy Quran, as has been explained to us from Mufassirun, comes from the various pronouns that are used in Quran that give us a lot of meaning. Here, we look at the verse, it says, Ya bunay innaha. So this is a pronoun. And this is two things in Arabic. We have harf nasb, inna, and then ha, dhamir mu'tasil. So innaha. Here, ulama, mufassirun of Quran have mentioned any time that you hear or see the word innaha in Quran, it's referring to your deeds. If we look here, Allah is saying for sure, if there was a seed of mustard, this means in relation to your deeds, in relation to the secrets of your soul. If there was a tiny particle there, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will find it, a tiny thought, a tiny action. And this is also just understanding this phrase, innaha, and knowing how these things work in Quran. See, Allah, the word innaha is for stress, right? It's stressing, for sure. Whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stresses anything in Quran, it's for those things which will continuously last. They will last forever. It's not for things of this world which will be gone. Allah doesn't make these solemn swears and sureties except for the things which are for the akhirah. So this is one of the wisdoms of Holy Quran. Allah brings this parable of the mustard seed twice in Quran. Here in Surah Al-Luqman and also in Surah Al-Anbiya. When Allah is talking about the Day of Judgment and the mawazin al-qist, the scales of equity. And Allah says, even there, you cannot hide even a mustard seed, and Allah will take it out. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, he mentioned we have he's mentioned this parable himself in some narrations. And one of the most well-known ones that's been discussed by ulama extensively is the narration about asabiyya. In that the Prophet himself had said that if you have a mustard seed, this small thing, just the same parable as Quran is mentioning, of asabiyya in your soul, then you will be raised on the day of judgment with the Arabs of Jahiliyyah. What is asabiyya? And what does it mean? Arabs of Jahiliyyah means the people during before Islam, the kuffar of the Arab world. Asabiyya is prejudice. It's prejudice. And it's the idea that we are better than anyone else. The idea that we are completely correct and everyone else is 100% wrong. Ulama of Irfan, the scholars of spirituality, they have mentioned that there are some character traits that a person has to have in order for them to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if they don't have it, they will never get closer to God. One of those, very specifically, is lack of asabiyya, to not be muta'assib, to not be prejudiced. And if you think about it, this makes a lot of sense. Imagine if somebody is prejudiced and they were coming from, for example, Christianity. If they possess this prejudices, they will never listen to anything what Muslims have to say. Right? If a person, for example, is following schools outside of Ahlul Bayt, they will never listen to what people of Ahlul Bayt will have to say from Ahlul Bayt school. Even within our own school, people who possess prejudice, sometimes they won't be willing to listen to what some ulama have to say. And this is one of the very dangerous things that will poison the soul. And one has to be very careful. And Quran is very clear about this. And look at the word Allah uses. He says He is latifun khabir. He is subtle. That means these issues are very subtle within the soul. And one has to be very careful in analyzing oneself and extracting them. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Now I would like to welcome tonight's main speaker, Sister Fatima Shangyan. So please welcome her with a loud salawat. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.